Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. What up, fellas? What up, fellas? How's all my fellas doing today, man? I hope everybody's doing good. It's your man in the building, bro, the Shaved Lion King, man, and I'm back to rap with y'all today. We're going to be talking about, bro, how everybody's watching you on semen retention. Now, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, bro. I have to keep it real, bro. I have to keep it all the way 1,000, man. This is just the way it is, bro. And I got to learn, man, to start identifying this a little bit better. All right. Because I remember when I first started this thing, bro, I had so many people looking at me like I was weird, bro. They were looking at me like, man, that's weird, bro. Like, they look at it like when you stop eating, when you start fasting, okay? This is the way they look at you when you're retaining your seed, bro. And I just thought it was crazy, man, because people don't seem to understand that these are the things that you do in the real world to level up, okay? And it's funny that they wait so long, all right, to finally notice what you've been doing has actually been working, okay? And this is my whole motivation, honestly, to keep going strong, okay? Because I'm going where no man has gone before, okay? At least of what we know. We hear a whole bunch of people on the internet just talking, trying to claim this retention crown, trying to be the king of the SRC. All these people claiming these things, bro. They have to be claiming it for a reason. It's got to be something bigger than most people have figured out yet. And again, we're ahead of the time, okay, on this semen retention thing. We're ahead of the time, bro. We're way ahead of any other man, okay, that has found out about this practice, okay? And that gives us a head start. That gives us a boost, bro, okay? That makes us these forefathers, all right? We are literally learning in the time, okay? Secret hidden information, putting it into practice, bro, transmuting the energy and actually showing some major growth. Okay. And this is why they're all watching you, bro. Okay. And I want you to understand, man, it isn't just the people around you that are watching you. Okay. I'm talking about the people who've already left this realm. I'm talking about the ascended masters. Okay. I'm talking about all your past family members, all your past friends. Okay. When you leave this body, you get to see what this reality really is. Okay. And you start to see that everything that you thought was completely wrong. Okay. And this is why so many people get caught up in wanting to come back here, because they fail to realize that their memories are not going to be the same when they come back through that porthole, through that womb as an infant. Okay. So they forget everything. Okay. But they don't understand that this is something that we were supposed to learn when we were down here, okay? And it's just one of those things that all those people who have left have looked back and are still watching us to this day to see if anyone else is going to figure out this secret, okay? Anybody else is going to go the distance. Anybody else is going to reclaim their own hero story instead of looking outside of themselves at everybody else in our society of what we've been taught, okay? Because this is what we've been taught. And there's nothing wrong with looking up to these other Christ beings that they have highlighted, okay, and told us about. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? The only thing that's wrong with that is we start to live through their stories, okay? All we can talk about is, their stories. All we're doing is giving our energy to their stories, and we fail to realize that we have a life of our own. Okay, we have a life of our own where we must grow, where we must excel, okay, where we must fulfill our own lives. We're our own soul, okay? We're on our own journey, we're on our own mission, okay? And this is why retention is important for every individual, for every man especially. This is why you guys need to be doing this, because you got to understand, man, You'll be one disappointed person when you leave this realm, okay? And you decide to stay in that low, degenerate energy, okay? And you did not excel. You did not graduate. You did not take life seriously, okay? Because you were fed the trick that all of us were fed here in modern society, that world is it, okay? You're not going to get any better than this. This is the heaven, okay? Where you're wrong, okay? The heaven has always been in the mind. It's a state of mind. It's being able to create your reality that you want. And you can't do that when you're constantly giving your energy away to other people, okay? This is what I want you guys to understand, man, okay? I want you guys to understand that they are all watching us. You should be on your best behavior, man. Okay, as a man, you should be on your best behavior. Okay, we're talking about the creator of all things. Okay, we're talking about the Christ beings, bro, who came down here, who set the record straight. Okay, in a fallen world, who sacrificed their lives for you. All right, to get it right. All right, they sacrificed their lives to be able to leave this information. Okay, that's what the true sacrifice was. This true sacrifice was they left us this message, and because of that, they got their lives put in danger. Okay, and we can see this happening today. Okay, because a lot of us who speak of this knowledge, who are not involved in certain particular groups, okay, feel the heat of those things that the Christ beings went through. Okay, so what I'm here to tell you guys is this is obviously something we are supposed to be doing. Okay, this is something that is going to unlock our minds. This is something that is going to give us the gifts from the universe. This is how we get our lives in line. Okay, and we're able to vibrate at a high frequency and truly resonate and live the life that we're supposed to be. Okay, and this is why I go with this passion, okay, this fire every single day, because I know what's at stake. I know what's on the line, okay? They're all watching us on Semen Retention, bro, okay? You got to understand this, man, all right? You are the one. You are Neo, bro, okay? You are the chosen one, okay? You are the one who's going to save the family. You're the one who's going to save the bloodline. That is a huge responsibility. All right, because now you have this information and now you have to do something with it. All right, you don't just come about stuff like this and get involved in stuff like this. All right, for no coincidence. Okay, you get this information because this is what you were supposed to get. This is what you were supposed to receive in a time like this. Okay, and now you have the obligation to do something. Okay, where the rest of the people before you wish that they could come back, and many have come back to this life to live it over, only to find that they never find themselves they never find themselves back, okay, to the ways that they used to know. Okay, they get lost. Okay, they never find a way back to the end of this game like we have. Okay, we are in the final level, gentlemen. All right, we are alive and breathing, and we hold this information. Okay, we are practicing this information, okay, and we are seeing transformation, okay, and this is why I will continue to do this, because it has showed me the greatest, okay, and I mean the greatest amount of gain that I've got from anything in my life. Okay, I will never go back. People can think I'm weird for the rest of my life. That's fine. And I'm going to keep elevating mentally and spiritually over these people. Okay, running laps around average people when it comes to being able to express my energy and use my energy to be able to create a lifestyle for me. Okay, this is something that you only going to get when you go within. This is something that you only going to get when you master yourself. Okay, and this is why I do it. Okay, I'm doing it to prove a point at this point. Okay, because most of the people out here are, like I said, that I've met, that I've known. Okay, I've lost a lot of friendships. I've lost a lot of relationships. All right, because I decided to go the narrow path. I decided to be a good person. I decided to be honest. Okay, I decided to be real with myself. I got tired of the guilt. I got tired of the shame. Okay, I got tired of being unfulfilled. I got tired of not being loved like I need to be loved. And I decided to go and love myself. Okay, because ultimately this is what this journey is all about. Okay, this is why it's so important to understand, man. They're all watching you and they're all rooting for you. That's why when you get on this energy, okay, it just accumulates. Okay, it rolls like an avalanche. It's unstoppable. Okay, when you go in the right direction. And I'm sitting here telling you guys now, there's going to come a point where this just becomes second nature. There's going to be a point where all those urges, all those things that once used to bother you are just going to disappear. Okay, they're going to leave your life. All right, and you're going to become a miracle man. All right, you're going to be walking around in the highest vibrations. Okay, you're going to be creating and attracting all the things that you want. You're going to see life for what it truly is. Okay, and then when you get ready to transcend and leave this vessel, you'll have nothing to come back. You'll have graduated. You will have ascended. Okay, like all the rest of the people before us. Believe me, there's way more people than these Christ beings who've ascended from this realm, okay, who have tapped into this consciousness, who have raised their kundalini, bro, okay, and who were guided by the universe on their journeys until they completed it. There's many of people before these people that we have even been documenting, okay. I want you to understand that, all right. So don't think that this is a feat that you can't face, okay? You can, okay? You just got to be tired of being tired. You got to have the motivation. You got to see what's going on in this outside world, bro. And this is why we are doing what we're doing, bro, because they are all watching us, okay? We're out here representing our bloodline. We're out here representing on who we really are, okay? We didn't get lost in the sauce, all right? We didn't become like the rest of these people in our society, bro, who are now looking back in their life as embarrassments, okay? All the time that they wasted, okay? All the time that they sat back and procrastinated, okay? We put miles and distance in between these people, okay? And this is why this is so important. And you know, when you're on this practice, you know, okay, because you have this drive, you have this insatiable energy, bro, that just wants to keep expanding for more knowledge and hunger, bro, okay? You just want to win and whatever it is that you're doing, and you have full faith in what it is that you're doing, bro. And this is what makes you unstoppable, okay? This is what turns us into supermen, okay? This is the motivation that you guys got to have, because I promise you, if you want to enhance anything in your life, and I mean any and everything in your life, this is what you're going to have to do, okay? When I tell you I've enhanced in everything that I touch, okay? It doesn't matter what it is. If you want to talk about the little 3D realm type of detachments like video games and music and all that stuff, I have become a master at these things, okay? There was a time there where I used to struggle at music. There was a time there I used to struggle at certain video games. There was a time there I used to struggle at certain programs. There was a time there I used to struggle with anything having to do with a computer, okay? And since I've been on this journey, since I've been transmuting this energy, man, I have stepped it up. I've created my own side business, bro, based off of my life force energy, okay? I did not waste one day of this journey, okay, and not growing, all right? I have things that are going to continue to come in my future, because I am building my future today by doing what I'm doing, by sharing the information, by giving you guys the knowledge, by showing you the proof, by putting myself out there on this internet, bro, for little or nothing, okay? To spread the message, to show you guys that these people that came here before us were telling us the truth, all right? And that's what I'm here to do. So next, what I'm about to do, you guys, I'm going to play a quick little clip, all right? We're going to talk about it. Basically, it's talking about the same thing that I'm talking about, okay? It's talking about how everybody is watching us, man, okay? And you have a huge responsibility now that you have this come across your plate. All right, you got to get out here in the real world. You got to put in the footwork, bro, okay? Because ain't nobody else going to do it for you, okay? It's just one of them things that you wake up and do every day, and you just make it second nature, bro. You reprogram your life, man, okay? You take control of your life. You become a real man, okay? By building this energy up, letting your seed come mature, okay? Letting this process take place in your body, man. And now you're a new man, okay? Now you're a man out here who can walk around and truly create off his own energy, okay? And be fulfilled at that, okay? He's not looking for anything to make him happy. He's not out here leaking his energy, okay? He's out here being a strong representation of what divine masculine is supposed to be. And this is what I want you guys to do. So I'm going to come back and play this video real quick, and we're going to talk about it.
Every man who begins the journey of retention eventually discovers something that shakes him to the core. It's not the urges, it's not the loneliness. It's the realization that he's being watched, not by people, not by society, but by something greater. Every decision you make on this path, every urge you resist, every temptation you entertain, it's all being measured. This is the law of retention. The universe doesn't give power freely. It tests to see if you're worthy to hold it. When you begin to retain, you are stepping into a sacred law, one that governs energy, creation, and the very structure of your being. Semen is not just fluid, it is condensed life force, the raw essence that can create another human being. To control that power is to step closer to the laws that govern life itself. And the universe will not allow just anyone to command that energy without first proving himself. That's why.
And as you can see, right off the bat, proving my point of everything that I've just been talking about, okay? You understand what is on your plate. You understand what's on the line, okay? We're talking about beings. We're talking about universes. We're talking about life that you have no idea that's taking place, okay? Sure, we've been told that there's things out there we don't know about, there's other life, other places, but I'm sitting here telling you there is a fact that there is other beings that are just like us, that are just intelligent as us, who are watching us, who are watching our struggles, who are watching if we're really truly trying to make it to this everlasting life, okay? Where we graduate from this realm, when we learn how to be a real person, a real human, a real soul who's going to benefit the rest of life. And, you know, and that's life all over the universe. There's life everywhere, okay? And like I said, we are being watched right now. This is why this is important. This is why we are putting in the time and we are putting in the effort, okay? This is why we have the motivation, because we see what we're doing. We're seeing the growth. We're seeing the benefits, okay? No one can't tell us ever, no man can ever come and tell me this is a placebo because of what it's done to me, okay? I've never used to be like this. I never used to have this type of a mindset. I never used to want to do this type of a thing, okay? But since I found out the truth, okay, I've been compelled, all right, to share it, okay? Because what kind of a person would I look like? What kind of karma would I create for myself to hide something like this and monetize it, okay, for personal gain, okay? I don't need to do that, all right? I give from my heart. And this is what's is going to make me blessed tenfold, okay? This is what's creating my bright future. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to see. I'm trying to get you guys to see this is the same thing that's going to happen to you, because you're being watched by something much bigger than these people, okay? Man is trying to recreate and trying to be God, trying to orchestrate our lives by making us make these lower vibrational decisions to do these harmful things to ourselves, okay? We got to understand. We got to understand on what we're facing here, okay? And what we're facing here is an enemy unseen, okay? And this is why the Most High has given us these practices such as celibacy and semen retention, okay? Because this is how we're going to get our powers back. This is how we're going to get our eyes to see, okay? So I want you guys to continue to do what it is that you're doing, okay? And understand this is what it is. We're being watched. We are being tested, bro, all right? Now that you know, man, okay, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to continue to make excuses? Are you going to continue to wallow in your own despair? Are you going to pick up that sword, bro? Are you going to pick up that shield and you're going to march forward, bro, and you're going to endure, okay? So you can earn this everlasting life, okay? For you can live a life of peace and happiness and love and abundance and prosperity in life. This is what we're earning, man. Nobody ever said it wasn't easy. And you got to think about it. If this is the test of life to gain all these things, there's no way in heck this is going to be easy. All right. But it becomes second nature, becomes something that's effortless when you're retaining your seed.
Why the moment you start retaining, everything seems to test you. Suddenly, lustful thoughts hit harder. Temptations appear out of nowhere. Old habits resurface. Women who never looked at you before start showing interest. Random people test your patience. It's not coincidence, it's calibration.
You're infected. The sergeant's voice carried a mix of fear and
Is asking, do you really want to rise? Or are you just pretending? Every man says he wants to be powerful, but few are ready to pay the price of power.
And there it is. There it is. This is what you come into on your retention journey. Okay. And like I said, a lot of people have choose to corrupt themselves with this energy. Oh yes, there's people out there who know all about sexual energy retention, who have created this kundalini process, and have made it and have chosen to use the energy for negativity. Okay. Oh yes. Because like I said, this type of energy allows you to create anything. Okay. When you have the energy to manipulate, when you have the energy to manipulate energies, when you have the energy of magnetism in your life, okay, I'm telling you, things just open up for you. Like I said, the universe at this point bends to your will because you have done the process, you have done the works. Okay, you have basically ascended this realm, and now you're a master. Okay, but master's responsibility is to do things, okay, in a very respectful way. Okay, not to abuse their power, not to abuse their authority, not to overstep people. Okay, to be humble. Okay, to be a superhero. Okay, imagine if all these superheroes out here turn corrupt. Okay, they have the power, they have the ability to take out most people. Okay, and this is the power that you're going to come into on retention. Okay, you got to make the choice. And this is why I said, this is why it's important for us to figure out this early in life, because it's going to help you on every facet of your life. Okay, I'm talking about financially, I'm talking about, okay, in relationships. Okay, this is what this is going to do. It's going to clean up your life. It's going to make you respect yourself, your life, and others. All right. And it's a power, like I said, that most men have no idea until they run into. And like I said, it can corrupt you or it can make you do the right thing. And I have chose to do the right thing. And I hope you guys are continuing to do the same.
Because power requires sacrifice, not of your body, but of your comfort. Retention strips away your illusions and exposes who you truly are. It brings your weaknesses to the surface so they can be burned away. That's why this path feels heavy. You're not just holding your seed, you're holding your shadow. When you release mindlessly, your energy scatters. Your thoughts are foggy, your emotions swing. You feel lost and hollow. But when you hold, everything intensifies. You start feeling everything, your anger, your desire, your sadness, your boredom. You can't numb yourself anymore. This is the first stage of the universal test. Can you sit with your emotions without running from them? Can you hold your energy without collapsing under it? The law of retention works like this. Energy must always be directed. If you don't consciously channel your retained power into something higher, your goals, your purpose, your physical body, it will turn against you. That's why many men relapse, not because they're weak, but because they haven't learned how to transmute their energy.
And there it is. There it is. We're seeing the truth. We're understanding the type of energy that we're dealing with. Okay. You just heard him say that this is the reason why men relapse. Because most of these guys get on this journey and have no idea what they're doing. I told you they don't understand semen retention. Okay, please visit some of my old videos. Okay, because I don't like to repeat everything and making it seem like I don't have something new to say. Okay, I've said pretty much every step that you're going to go through because I'm going through this journey. Okay, I've gone through it since day one and I'm almost on 4 years. I have 4 years of research. I've had 4 years of experimentation that I've done on myself. Okay, I have documented everything. Okay, everything I've gone through, everything that I've seen, all the transformations I've experienced, all the growth. Okay, even some of the negative things, which were very little. Okay, everything has been positive on this journey. okay, versus what we've been talking about when you guys could not give me one positive benefit of releasing your seed. Okay, we've had this conversation. Maybe we need to revisit. Okay, because I don't think, my perception has changed one bit on believing that there's anything positive despite bringing life into this world. Unfortunately, at a time like this, where bringing life into this world is actually risky. Okay, so there's really no positive benefits to doing what we're doing. Okay, but there's such a huge upside to retaining it. Okay, there's so much growth. There's so much possibilities for mind expansion. Okay, there's so much possibilities, right, for things that we are unknown to us. Okay, and that's what man does. Man loves to explore. Okay, why explore, a reality that we know everything about? Okay, we know everything about releasing our seed. We know everything about these different actual positions. We know everything about, how to spend money and do this and do that. The only thing that man is not putting deep research into and not going the distances is in his own mind. The mind is huge. It's so wide. It's so vast. Okay. Science is yet to even understand the brain. Okay. It has so many things that we have yet to unlock. Okay. And we're out here distracted. Okay. By orchestration. Okay. By the powers that be, society. Okay. Because they don't want you to find out this truth. They don't want people to be happy. They want you to be dependent. Okay. They want you to fall in line on what it is that they are pressing. Okay. Instead of you going on this journey yourself. Okay. And unlocking your own God within. Okay. This is why, unfortunately, people like us become targeted people. Okay. Only because we're telling you the truth. Okay. We're not up here in negativity. We're not up here spreading anything harmful. We're not up here hurting anybody. Okay. But we get pushed into a corner because we are now unlocking our beautiful minds, which everybody has. Everybody has a beautiful mind. Okay. I've just shown you on what the work can do. Okay. As long as you put in the effort, as long as you stop bull crapping around with your life. Okay. Like I said, this is a one and a time thing, bro. Okay. Who knows, in the next few years, I might come off of this and never be able to be in this position again. Okay. But what I'm showing you and what I've been proving and teaching to you guys is I'm all about legacy. Okay. Despite what people have said about me, I'm going to prove something that nobody else has done before me. And they will never be able to down talk on who it is and what it is that I chose to do in my life, because I have showed that here on the internet for everybody else to see, for everybody else to sit in their criticism bag. Okay. And try to compare their lives. When in all actuality, okay, all I've done is motivate you to cause some kind of change in your life. And this is why I said, this is why we are all being watched who are on this journey, because it's a huge responsibility. Okay. You're literally a superhero. You're literally now taking the position and the roles of guardian of the galaxy. Okay. We are many. Okay. There's many of us. Okay. We are here to do a mission. We are here to do our job. Okay. We are here to learn and grow. And this is what we're doing. And you should be excited if you decided to, invest your energy and your time in this practice, and you joined our classroom and you experience growth like many of us. Okay. That should make you excited. All right, about your future. And this is all I'm sitting here trying to prove to you guys. Okay. I'm trying to prove to you guys that we have a lot going on. Okay. You got to understand, just because you can't see life with your own two eyes, because, the human vision, okay, is handicapped already. Okay. We don't see in all spectrums already. So we're already handicapped as humans. Okay. So who knows what's walking amongst us that we cannot perceive or see. Okay. But we also know that there's, things in different universes. There's things in different parts of the galaxy. Okay. That are watching us. Okay. We are the youngest ones. Okay. We are the babies. Okay. Of evolution. We're the babies. Okay. We're last in line to evolve. Okay. So everybody's watching us. All right. And this is why I really think if you find these certain motivations and you put them into play into your life, they can have a real big outcome on what your decisions decide to be. Okay. And this is all I've done. Okay. I've compiled everything that I could use as motivation and reasoning for me to never quit and for me to never look back. Okay. And this is what I've done. Okay. And I know many of you guys can do the exact same thing. Okay. All it takes is brain power. All it takes is high IQ. Okay. All it takes is you start doing the things that you've learned. Okay. You start practicing what you are preaching. Okay. And when you do that, man, you become unstoppable. Okay. The mind works. Okay. When I tell you we can sit here and create anything we want just off our minds, businesses, okay, resources, all right, just off our minds. Okay. We don't need to be out there slaving away, hurting ourselves. Okay. All we have to do is invest in ourselves, and we already have the asset, okay, that is going to multiply. Not only is it going to multiply, it's going to enhance your body. It's going to enhance your look. It's going to enhance your aesthetics, okay? It's going to give your throat chakra a tone and a resonance, all right? When people hear it, they'll know who they're talking to. They'll know they're talking to a retainer. They'll know they're talking to someone who's holding their ojas. And in the near future, okay, when things greatly start to change, when we leave the realm of negativity and we start to rise into a higher frequency of love and light again, okay, we're going to be people who are standing out. We're going to be people who are going to be looked upon as leaders. We're going to be people who are going to have high positions in helping other people ascend, okay, and get that badge, okay, get that star, okay, and help them graduate. And I said, man, there is nothing, once I found all this out, there is nothing anyone will ever be able to do to compromise me otherwise, okay? Because like I said, I understand on what's at stake. I understand on what man is trying to do by trying to keep this quiet and trying to keep you, okay, nice and compliant where you are and not raise your energy enough so you can change your circumstances. So that's all I really wanted to tell you guys. Just wanted to let you guys know that this is for real. Okay, this is for real what we're doing out here. All right, and we're being watched. Okay, we're being watched. You're being watched. I could go down the list. Okay, we're being watched by very important people, very important deities. Okay, the fathers and creators and the mothers. Okay, of humans. Okay, of mankind. Okay, and don't, like I said, there's nowhere you can hide just because you're inside of a building, just because you're inside of a car, just because you're inside of your bedroom or under some covers. Don't think that everything that you're doing is not on display, okay? And you're not being watched and you're not being judged. All of your actions. And this is why, like I said, I decided to combat everything with neutral energy and positivity. Okay, because I understand what this matrix is set up for. This matrix is set up to keep you in that lower energy, okay? So you're never able to ascend, okay? It's all a game. It's all a mental game, okay? And when you decide to go on SR long term, okay, you become the master chess player, okay? You're no longer playing checkers, bro, okay? You're the master chess player, man, all right? And you're always going to win. And this is all I wanted you guys to experience in your life while you still have time down here. So I appreciate everybody that came up here. I'm going to read a couple of these questions real quick, and I'm going to get up out of here. Caleb in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here today, brother. Daniel in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here today, Daniel, my guy. Good to see you, man. What was that? KRLES 2582. What's happening with you, brother? Hope you're doing good, my man. You know, YouTube, I don't really like how YouTube has changed the screen names now. So now I can't really see people's screen names. All I can see is the @ so I don't really know you guys by your @ names. Sada Sage, what's happening with you, boss? Appreciate you for being up in here, man. D goes off in the building. What's happening with you, brother? Appreciate you for being up in here, my guy. Dylan the Great, what's happening with you, bro? Appreciate you for being up in here, my man. Good to see you, brother. Truth, man, good to see you. My man, Truth in the building. Good to see you, bro. He says 7 days to 33 months. Been with a girl for 10 months and she respects this practice. Awesome, brother. Truth, man. Congratulations, bro. Keep doing your thing, brother. I see you, bro. You representing for the retention community, man. Bonafide Goods in the building. Good to see you up in here today, brother. He said, I just did a 3-day fast a couple of weeks ago. The effects are lasting. I feel clear. That's what's up, bro. You're going to feel amazing, man. Look, when I ever do put together a program eventually, I would hate to sell it to you guys, but it's like, what else am I going to do with it? I mean, I've already told you the program. Maybe I can compile it and put it together. Guys, I have a lifestyle that's going to change your life indefinitely. Okay. I mean, fairly quickly if you have a decent amount of discipline. Okay. And fasting is one of the biggest keys. Okay. You got to get out of the body image disorder. You got to get out of that. Okay. Because society is doing a good job at getting us to believe that we're supposed to be walking around heavy people with heavier amounts of inflammation in our body. Okay, guys, we're light bodies. Do you understand? We're like souls. We supposed to be flying. We're supposed to be super light. We're supposed to be walking around, bro, not with a whole bunch of shit in our intestines. Okay, this is what the average American has. The average American has. You can look this up on Google. This is a fact. The average American. So that means probably a good 70% of the people in America, bro, are walking around with at least 5 to 10 pounds, okay, of fecal matter, all right, that hasn't been excreted in their intestines. This is why everybody has a gut. This is why everybody has these problems, okay? And guess what? When you go on your fasting journey and you really start taking health serious, you're going to become so light. You're going to go back to, I love using this reference because it's the best one. You're going to go back to the way you look in high school. Now, some of you probably look bad in high school. I can't help you. Maybe you need to go back a little further, like middle school or elementary, and you probably look better then. I'm just trying to tell you, when you incorporate fasting in your life, as well as eating the 1 meal per day, is which I recommend, and doing retention, your life is going to completely change. Okay, you're going to become super healthy. Okay, your priorities are going to change on the things that you do and you consume, and how you use your time in this world. Okay, because now, like I said, you're going to get smarter. All right, when you stop putting the toxins in your body, when you stop putting all the things like the fluoride and all these different things that we are taking in every single day, they have an accumulative effect on lowering your IQ. This is a fact. Okay, I'm done the research for you. Okay, trust me. Okay, all of these things that you're doing have a way of basically making your ambitions be low and lowering your IQ, which results in you not caring, which results in you doing things without a thought. Okay, which results in no discipline and breaking addictions. Okay, so all I'm trying to get you guys to see is the cleaner that your body is, okay, the more pristine your temple is, the easier it is to control your mind. Dualistic perspective in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here, brother. Good to see you in here today, bro. Who's that? PK Wealth. I see you, bro. Good to see you up in here, man. Appreciate you for being up in here today, brother. Lego King. I haven't seen you in a while, my guy. Good to see you, my guy. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, he says, yeah, I hate how YouTube doesn't allow custom names to be shown in the chat. It's all just usernames now. Yeah, bro, I really don't like that because I can't really see who's who. I mean, if you have a name that stands out like Lego King, it's easy to see that, bro. But for the rest of you guys, man, it's really not, like, so if I ever slaughter your name, bro, just know that I didn't do it on purpose. Angry Beer says, I do not eat meat. This is the last week. Shave Lion Key because of your last stream, your stream last week. Bro, man, look, I have nothing against what people choose to do, okay? But what I'm proving to you guys is if this world was set up for temptation, okay, we know that. Remember in the good book, Satan offered Jesus the world. Remember? he was on his knees. He was on that high ass mountain, and he was like, "I'll give you all of this, Jesus. Okay, I'll give you all of this. You are a good person, bro. I want your soul. Okay, I want your soul. I want to corrupt your soul, but only way that that's going to happen is if you take my deal and you take all of this, right? This is basically what he's saying, right? So you got to understand that that's the temptation of the world. Okay, it's everything that's in the world. Okay, that could be the food, that could be the women, that could be the money, that could be the lifestyles. Okay, all of those things are considered the temptations. Okay, and if you look around at modern person, every person has some kind of attachment to that. Okay, and this is the bad part. Okay, this is what's going to this is what's forever going to hold you back on raising your vibrations, raising your energy. Okay, understanding that, like I just explained to you, that there's people watching you. And again, that made me stop my whole, watching corn and doing all that stuff. When I start really thinking about that, when I said, holy crap, the Most High has been watching me this whole time do these disgusting acts with myself in private. Okay. My passed away grandmother is watching me, okay, do these things, okay, in sadness, knowing that that's something low vibrational that I'm doing, okay, because I'm unhappy with either my circumstances or I'm not being, in a happy relationship because I'm an unhealed person that's doing a practice like that. So why would the Most High put you in a relationship with a nice, God-giving, God-caring woman and you do practices like this? All that's going to do is trickle over into other parts of your life, making you, someone who's not going to be a very good in a relationship. Okay. This is a reason why we are having all of this self-improvement things happen to us in 2025. Okay. It's either you're going to make the change or you're not. You're going to stay stagnant. Okay. You're going to keep continuing to create the life that you believe is right when I told you the world is changing now. Things are about to go upside down whether these people like it or not. Okay, they can take out as many of us as they want and we're just going to keep coming back. Okay, because there's nothing that they're going to be able to do as far as that aspect. All right, we're going to keep coming back until the vibration gets higher and higher and higher. That's just the way it's going to be. All right, so you guys should be doing the best thing that you could be doing. Okay, and that is raising your vibrations, fasting, eating healthy, okay? Trying to change something in your life one day at a time. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have a million different things that you do that that are not healthy for you, what is so hard about quitting one day at a time, quitting one? Every week, quit something new very hard. Make it the things to do list and write down on your list on all the hardest things in your life that that aren't good for you, that that you done heard, but you keep doing anyway because you don't have the energy to change. Why don't you write down some of those things? Okay, and start going week after week and trying to be able to cross out those things and watch how much better you're going to feel about yourself. Watch how much more confidence you're going to develop. Okay, and this is the whole thing. Okay, but like I said, this is why we have retention, sexual life force, energy retention as our number one thing, because that's where all the energy, I told you, that's where all the energy loss comes from. Okay, there's nothing else that you're going to do that takes significantly that much more energy away from you than releasing your energy, okay? AKA your seed. And that's just the facts. So I thank all you guys that came up in here today. I appreciate you guys. I didn't really want this one to go this long. I just wanted to get you guys to understand on what we're dealing, okay? And how they're all watching us, bro, on Semen Retention. Everybody I said, bro, okay? Everybody I said, your passed away relatives, everybody's watching you, man, hoping that you are going to be the one to figure it out for their family. They're hoping you're going to be the one. You were born in this position because you are the person that are in on these live streams, okay, digesting this type of information, okay? There's nobody else on the internet just randomly spreading this type of information, okay? It's not happening, all right? And this is why you guys should be taking this absolute seriously, okay? So I appreciate you again. Like I said, all you guys that came up in here, keep retaining your seed, keep staying strong in your journey, bro, and understand what we have on the line, okay? And let that motivate you to success. So I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys have a good day. Peace, fellas.
your joint gets so rock, it's ready to poke through your shorts.
Activate the shave line king.
You are now listening to Boomtown